This laboratory, yung first lab natin, will be doing the Navigate the OS, okay? Lab 1, okay? It's divided into 3 parts. Okay. Let me just maximize. Yeah. How we establish basic connection, how do we access the command line interface, and let's explore also the help, explore the exec mode, and we'll try to set the clock as well. Okay, so this is how I'll be giving the laboratory activities. So my manual, so this is laboratory 1. Meron laging background scenario, and then the instructions are there. And if required, most of the time, you need to answer or fill in with what is required. Okay, so tatlong parts lang for this exercise. So my Cisco Packet Tracer, Word document over the Cisco Packet Tracer. Okay, simply because I've just left this space kasi for this activity, there'll be just 2 devices we'll be using. Okay, so background in this activity, we will practice skills necessary for navigating the Cisco iOS, such as the different access modes, configuration modes, and common commands used on a regular basis. So we'll also practice accessing the context-sensitive help by configuring the clock command. Okay, so let's begin with part 1, and that is establishing basic connection, accessing the CLI, and explore help. Okay, first step, we should connect a PC to a switch using the console cable. Okay, so as instructed, we need a PC and we need a switch. Okay, S1 and PC1. So during the course of your Cisco Packet Tracer journey, dun sa 10 hours self-online course natin, so you'll see these are the tools available with Packet Tracer. Diba? So meron siyang file, edit, options, view, tools, extensions, window, and the help. For the basic tools, yung toolbars natin, so you have this basic one with open, diba? Wala bang mouse over, ano to? Find, open file. This one, kailangan ko pang i-clickin. A new packet tracer, save, print, yan, and so on. So basically, the typical tools we have. So undo and redo, zoom in and zoom out, revert to the original or zoom reset. Abot ito may mouse over, but ito wala. Meron pala. Natagalan lang mag-appear kanina. Alright? And then we have the select tool, the inspect, delete, and additional miscellaneous we can add to our packet tracer file. Okay? And then, most importantly, the equipments we have are found at the bottom. Okay, so sa bottom part of your packet tracer, you see the categories in terms of this icon. So these are the network devices. If you select this one, the network devices are shown here. Okay, we have the switches, the routers. Okay, if you select a subcategory from this category, all available devices are displayed on this part. Okay, and then you'll also see the name or the specifications. Okay, ayan. Katulad nito, switch, PT, MT, switch PT, and then switch iOS 15, etc. So router, we have ISR 4321. That's the model name for Cisco, etc. Okay, so that's for the network devices. For an end device, ito naman is where we will see the PC, laptop, server, etc. Okay, so these are the devices. So if we need to use other end devices, nandito rin siya sa iba pang category. So you see, Cisco is used in several courses, Cisco courses. But for our case kasi, di ba networking 1, introduction to network. So hindi naman natin kailangan pa yung mga ganitong devices. A fan, a battery, sensors, etc., fire monitor, detectors, yan, hindi AC, so hindi pa. So that's used for a smart IoT design, okay? So hindi pa natin gagamitin yan. So Most of the time, we just focus on network devices and end devices. Sa end devices nga, usually ano lang tayo, PC, laptop, server. Okay? We seldom use printer, pero pwede naman mag-add, okay, if you just want to design. Okay? So, again, going back to our instruction, click the connections icon, the one that looks like a lightning bolt in the lower left corner of the packet tracer window. So, ito yon. So, this is one of the categories. Ito yung components. And the component has selected the following, okay, or displays the following. Ito kasi yung default connections. So, we have the console cable. We have what we call as a straight through cable, a copper cable, and so many others. Okay, so ayan, may labels naman siya kung ano yung kailangan na gamitin. So, on the instruction of our laboratory, console cable actually yung kailangan natin na gamitin. So, let me just show you again. Let's start from step 1 again. So, we use a PC and a switch. So, yun lang naman yung sinabi niya, diba? So, let's get a PC. Okay. Let's get a switch from the network devices. So let's just assign the basic 2960 switch. Okay. So your devices, which you drag on your Cisco packet tracer main board, can be renamed. Okay. Pwede mo nyo siyang baguhin dito. So PC1, kasi that is what is told into the manual. Okay. Pwede nyo rin siyang minimize to ha, para hindi kayo open na open. Sige, let's try that option. Okay, so let's minimize. Yan. According to the size. Okay, so pwede naman mag-scroll here. Actually, dalawa lang yung kailangan natin. Okay, and then here, and then here. Alright? Okay, pwede ko na i-zoom out ng konti. Okay, we click the connection, sabi, we should use the console cable on the lightning, okay, using a console cable. So, saan nga ba si console cable? It's here, okay? So, yun na lang, hindi na siya mag-show. Okay, so, di ba kanina, maximize ko lang. So, there is a description, right? So, here, if you click connections, this one is the console cable. Okay, so yan yung gagamitin natin. So, let's just minimize. Use the console cable. So, how do we use it? Just select. Okay, and nasa step letter B na tayo. Okay, so we click PC1, step C. Okay, so I just place my mouse over the PC and you'll see some of the properties. Actually, wala pang configuration na nakaset. Okay, but the name is PC1 already. So click ko lang yung PC. Okay, and select the RS232 connection. This is on step C, yeah? So select RS232 connection. So again, press lang, click lang po, left click. These options will show, and then click lang RS232. So now you'll see the cable is now dangling on the PC and needs to be connected to the other end. Okay, so letter D, drag the other end to the switch and click the switch to access the connection and select the console port to complete the connection. So, hanggang step E, click. Okay? When you click, you'll be given the option saan mo siya gustong ikabit. Okay? Since we are using a console cable, that should be on the console port. Okay? Dapat nasa console port siya. Physically, if you look at the console port, pareho lang siya ng connector na ginagamit with the other interfaces. Okay, so make sure we click console port. Okay, so now, you see, nagkaroon na ng connection so that even if we drag our devices, so naka-fix na po yung connectivity nila. So here, all right, so we're done with step 1 actually. Wala pa tayong, we were not given any question yet, so we don't need to fill in any yet. Okay, click PC1 and then select desktop tab. So I've selected PC1, okay, and these are the tabs available. We have physical, configure, desktop, programming, and attributes. So we were told we need to go to the desktop tab, okay, and next on the step is click the terminal application window and verify the port configuration default settings are correct. Okay? So, click the terminal window. Nasa si terminal? So, it's actually, dami kong controls. I have the zoom control and the man. So, this is the terminal. So, let me just magnify. So, ito po yung terminal. Okay? So, that's equivalent to command prompt as well. But since we have connected the switch, okay, to the PC, parang ang ano natin dyan is we are using a terminal emulator program para ma-view natin yung configuration of the switch through the PC. Okay, so we select terminal. Okay, so now when terminal is selected, so we are given the following options po. Okay, it's giving us the configuration. Bits per seconds is 96. Data bits is 8, parity, none, stop bits, 1, and flow control, none. Okay, so let's go to the document. Okay. Okay, so sa document natin, okay, so where's my magnifier? So mahirap sa Okay, so let's just continue with this one. Okay, what is the setting for bits per second? So ano daw yung setting natin for bits per second? It's, let's go back to the, it's 9,600. So, we need to fill that in here kasi we are asked. Okay, so type lang natin po siya. Okay, it's 9,600 bits per second. So, I would request everyone po, for every answer we type into the lab document po. So, let's have it in color. Anong color gusto nyo? Pwede ring red, pero wag naman. So, blue na lang. Okay, so that's our typical color. So, blue na lang po. And then, type in bold. Okay? Para madali ko makita yung sagot niya. Okay? Is that clear, class? For every questions answered, when you type into the manual, type in blue text and bold blue text. Okay? So, sabi dyan, we need to click OK. Okay? So, let me okay, so from here, yan. Ito yung kanina, di ba? So, let's press OK, which means we are accepting the default. Okay, so click OK. So, wala naman tayong binabago dyan. And now, we are led to this window. So, this is now the configuration. So, let me just check my magnifier. So, na magnifier ko. And then, I'll just reduce it first para lang makita ninyo siya. So, yun. So, this opens. Sa PC1 pa rin to ha. So, the dialog box opens on that same configuration or properties of PC1. Ayan, no, nasa PC1 tab pa rin tayo. And this is the configuration. So, which means the switch initialized and we are now ready to go to the switch configuration. Okay, so let me just magnify that one. Ito na yon. So, this is the view you see. May mga initialization, information about the switch, and as told on our lesson, you just press enter to go to the configuration. Okay, yan. We are now in the user exec mode kasi the symbol after the switch on our command line is a greater than sign. Okay, so let me go to the Word document again and continue with the questions. The screen that appears may have several messages. So press return to get started. We already did. So what is the prompt displayed on the screen? So ano yung prompt? It's switch greater than. So we will just type in switch greater than. Okay, again, I request you to make it bold and blue. Okay, blue. Okay, so yan. Switch. Okay, so that's step number 2. So we'll go now to step 3. Explore the iOS help. Okay, so on the document, it says letter A. The iOS can provide help for commands depending on the level's access. So the prompt currently displayed is user exec mode. Tama? Diba? Nasa greater than sign tayo. And the device is waiting for a command. So the most basic form of help is to type a question mark at the prompt to display a list of commands. So we will type in the question mark. Okay, so let's type in the question mark. Okay, so question mark. Okay, so what happens? Okay, so here is what happened. Okay, so with the question mark, okay, di ba help, ano yan? It's a help tool. The question mark is a help tool. So it's telling us these are the following commands we can use under the user exec mode. So binigay niya, connect, disable, disconnect with their descriptions. Connect, open a terminal connection. Disable, turn off. Disconnect, enable, turns on privilege commands, etc. So meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so we have 13 commands. Okay, next on the document. Okay, so question niya, which command begins with letter C? Okay, so let's go back. So which command begins with letter C? So how many do we see? One lang. Tama ba? Baka nadudulingin ako. So one. Okay, so let's go to the document. Which command begins with letter C? So let's type in connect. So just one, right? Are we all following, class? Do we all follow? Medyo naka-magnify yung screen ko, ha? So let me know kung medyo nagugulan kayo. Pero we are already at this part of our document, step 3. Question niya, which command begins with letter C? The command connect. So you can answer in complete sentence like the command or the keyword connect. Pwede ganyan. Okay, so depende sa inyo how you want it. Okay. Okay, next, at the prompt, type T and then a question mark. Okay, so let's go back to our prompt again. Okay, so let's type this time T and then a question mark. So, katulad ng sinabi sa instruction. Okay, here you'll see we have the 3 commands which starts with letter T. Telnet, terminal, and trace route. Okay, so ano daw ang gagawin natin dyan? So let's go to the next instruction. Which command are displayed? Okay, so as mentioned po, so if you highlight that actually in control C, nag-control C pa lang ako, ano nangyari? Nag-enter na siya agad. Okay, so copy ko lang by right click. Sige. Okay, right click and then which command are displayed? Okay, so let me just. Yan. So control V. So there is no paste option. Hindi gumagana yung right click and then paste. Okay. Pero pwede siyang control V. Okay, so ayusin na lang natin siya. So the commands telnet, terminal, and trace route are displayed. Which commands are displayed? The telnet. Okay, tinatype ko lang siya, ha. So bahala kayo if you how you want it presented as answer to the question. Okay? Tatlo kasi yung sagot natin. Okay? So I'll be uploading this video as your guide when you do it on your own. Okay? And then we make this blue. Ulit. Okay? Okay, so at the prompt, type TE and then question mark. So para ma-verify natin what has been discussed in the lecture. So nasa na tayo. Okay, so we type in T and then E. Okay, so ano ba sabi? Magpa-question mark na tayo ulit. TE, okay, sorry, nasa na yun. Ayan, TE and question mark. Okay, so TE and question mark. Okay, so this time, since only 2 T commands has its second character as letter E, kaya sila na lang dalawa yung natira. Trace route is not anymore included in the option. Okay, so next question, which commands are displayed? Okay, so ito na lang i-copy natin, right? So we just copy, paste the telnet and terminal commands. Okay, Next, this type of help is known as context-sensitive help. So it provides us with more information as the commands are expanded. Okay, so let's just unmagnify. Yan. And this is now our document. Okay, so para lang makita natin siya in totality. So we're done with part 1 actually. So that's part 1 of our lab. Questions so far? Class? Question po so far?
None po.
Do we all follow? Sorry?
Wala po, miss.
Wala. Okay po. Sige po. So if you have questions ha, just let me know lang po. Okay, so again, we have our packet tracer running. I've pressed the PC1. Kinlik ko lang siya and this is where we, under the desktop tab, this is where we view the terminal. Nandun yung configuration na ginagawa natin for the switch. Okay, and then we also have on our PC, we opened our lab manual for the instruction and for our answers. Okay, so let's go to part 2 now. Magnify ko na ulit ha. Okay, so let me magnify. For part 2, exploring the exec mode. So in this part of the activity, we will switch to privilege exec mode and issue additional commands. So at the prompt, we type in the question mark, and question is, what is information is displayed for the enable command? So let's do that. Okay, so mag-question mark tayo ulit. Enter ko lang ha. Okay. So question mark again, and sorry, makatili siya na tayo. Is it active? Ayun, ito na. Okay, so I typed in the question mark, and these are the commands. So ang question niya is, what daw is described on the enable command? So it turn on privilege commands. Okay, so yun yung gagawin natin. So right click, copy. Okay, that is being asked. Okay, so question dyan is, what information is displayed for the enable command? So paste lang natin siya. Bold, and then don't forget to turn it blue. Okay, so yan. Type N and press the tab key. Okay, EN lang and then press the tab key. So these are the available options. We just type EN. I type EN, and now I'm pressing the tab key. So what happened? It completed the command. Since unique lang naman, there is just one command which begins with E and N. Dalawang character na yan. So it was completed. Okay, so let me do that for E lang. Okay, for example, E lang. Let me just exit po. So let me just exit to go back to the user exec mode. Type E. So if I type E and then press the tab, walang nangyari. Diba? It's because there are two E commands. But if I type in N, yung isa naman. Ano yung isa? What is the other E? Exit. So if I type X and then press tab, okay, it completes the command. Okay, so again, EN and then tab. All right, so let's go back to the manual. Saan na tayo? Okay, so what displays after pressing the start key? I-complete sentence nyo na lang po siya. So it displays enable. Okay, complete sentence nyo na lang and blue nyo na lang siya. Right? So this is called the command completion or the tab completion. So when part of a command is displayed, the tab key can be used to complete the partial command. And that is what we did with the enable and the exit commands, right? So what would happen if you type TE at the prompt? Okay, so pag nag-type tayo ng TE and then tab, okay? So try natin what is on the instruction. Okay, so I'll just exit para nandun pa ako sa user exit mode, and then type TE and then tab. Okay, so what happens? Katulad ng E natin kanina. Nothing, di ba? So TE, sorry. TE, tab. Tab. Okay, so walang nangyari. So that is what we'll be writing here. Okay, so what would happen if you type TE at the prompt? Nothing happens. No change or nothing changed. It just displays the same, the same incomplete command. Okay, or kayo na bahala, diba? So, kayo na po bahala dito how you would answer this. Okay, so if that is my answer, I'll bold it and type it blue. Okay, so please do that. Bold and blue para madali ko makita yung sagot. Okay. Why do you think there is an error? Okay, bakit? Why is there an error when we just type TE? Okay, so again, TE tab. So, wala siyang nangyayari, di ba? It's because if we type in the question mark, there are two commands which begins with T and E. Okay, so yun yung sagot, di ba? So, we type in our answer here. Okay, what do you think is this error? There are two commands which starts with TE. Okay, so, wait, may pumapasok sa meeting room. Okay, so let me just admit. Okay. All right, and then blue. Okay, kayo na bahala ha. Complete the sentence or any way you want to answer it. So just type it on this part of the document. Okay, enter the enable command and press enter. So now, punta na tayo sa privilege exec mode. So going back, okay, so nandito na tayo, diba? So we type in this time enable, okay, and then press enter. So how did it change? The greater than symbol becomes a hashtag or the number sign. So let me just copy, right click copy, and then let's put it in our document. So sabi dyan, how does the prompt change? It now, pwede rin ganito siya. It now ends with number sign. So pwedeng ganyan. Kahit pala hindi na natin kinapit. If it's how we want to answer it. Okay, so kulayan ko lang. Okay, when prompted, type the question mark. Okay, so this time we are in the privilege exec mode. So let me go back to the terminal. Naka number sign na tayo or hashtag. So this time, let's type in the question mark. Okay, so isang question mark. After typing it in, you'll see the available commands. So which means in the user exec mode, we just have few commands, but in the privilege exec mode, we have more commands to choose from. Meaning, we can do more functions here in the privilege exec mode. And notice that there is a more, okay, more word which starts with 2 dashes and ends with 2 dashes here. Kasi it means this is not the entire list. So we still have more commands available under the privilege exec mode. Recalling, di ba, kanina, sabi sa shortcut keys or the keys, we can press the enter button to show another line. Okay? Take note, what is showing on the screen is the show running information or the show command. So if I press the enter, okay, may nadagdag na isa, SSH. If I press enter again, there is another one, telnet. Okay, so isa-isa if you press the enter button. But if you press the space button, space, what happens? From telnet, the load na lahat, terminal, trace route, undebug, at saka write. So all remaining na load na siya, okay, on the screen. Okay, so that's the difference with the enter and the space. What if sobrang haba pa ng ng dapat i-display? So you need to press spacebar twice. Kasi si spacebar, it displays what is fitted on the screen. Pag kulang pa yon, you press spacebar again. Parang nainitan ako. Okay, so clear? Is that clear, class? Clear po ba?
Yes,
So,
miss.
okay, salamat. So, one command starts with letter C in the user exec mode, but how many commands are displayed in the privilege exec mode is active. So, ilan ba yung naka-letter C? So, paano natin bibilangin? So, let's go back. Pwede nating, since naka-alphabetical order naman yan, you can count from here. So, 1, 2, dalawa. Ay, tatlong dami pa pala sa unahan. Clear, clock, configure, connect, copy. So, 5. Diba? So, 5 siya. But another way to see it is, syempre, use the C question mark para yun lang yung madi-display. Alright? So, C question mark. So, we have 5. Clear, clock, configure, connect, and copy. So, let's answer the question. Okay, so tanong niya is, how many lang naman, diba? How many commands are displayed that now that privilege exec mode is active? Okay, so ilan? There are 5. Ayan, or kompletuhin nyo yung sentence. Bahala na po kayo. So, I'll just color it blue. And admit who is in the waiting room. Step 2 of part 2. Enter the global configuration mode. So, nasa privilege exec mode tayo, di ba? So, this time, we wanted to go to global configuration mode. And the command starts with the letter C, which is configure. Okay? We want to use the entire text, configure. So, type lang natin siya. And then, let's see what is the message that is being displayed. Okay? So, we go back to the terminal. Enter lang. Okay. So, and then type configure. Configure. Sorry, and then. Okay. And then press enter. So, ano sabi? Configuring from terminal, memory, or network. So, ibig sabihin, nagtatanong siya, what do you want to configure? Okay. So, copy ko lang ito. Baka kailanganin dun sa sagot. Okay. So, the options are terminal, memory, and network. So, if you press enter, actually, this is the default value, terminal. Pag nag-press enter ka dyan, terminal siya agad. Okay, so let's go to the question. What message is displayed? Okay, so type na lang natin to. The message, we can put in the message is, ayan. Ito kasi yung message. Okay. Okay, next. Press enter to accept the default parameter that is enclosed in the brackets. And then, how does the prompt change? So, let's go back to our terminal. Okay, press enter lang to accept terminal. So, press enter. So, this is now how it changed. Okay, nasa global configuration mode na tayo. You'll see a parenthesis enclosing the word config. Okay, and that makes it different with the privilege exec mode. So, let's answer the document. Okay, so anong question? How does the prompt change? So, pwede naman natin na the prompt is now switch can. Ay, ano ba yan? Okay, so mga ganyan lang. Okay, so continue na lang ha. Okay, so this is called the global configuration mode, and this mode will be explored further in the upcoming activities. So for now, we'll just return to the privilege exec mode by typing exit, since one level after privilege exec mode lang naman tayo, or end, okay, or control C. So we have already tried exit a while ago. So try naman natin yung end, okay? So let's try end in our terminal window. Okay, nasa global configuration mode tayo, diba? So, type end and press enter. Okay, so we are now back to the privilege exec mode. Okay, so going back to the manual. So, wala naman na siyang question. Okay, we type in end and then we press enter. We also tried na rin yung exit last time. So, dun sa privilege exec mode para makabalik tayo sa user exec mode. Okay, so pwede natin ulitin. Okay, so let's go to the terminal and let's do that again. Press enter ko lang and then configure. This time, buuin ko siya, configure terminal. Huwag na natin siya hintayin magtanong. So, configure terminal, we are already in the global configuration mode. And let's type exit, okay, and then press enter. Okay, balik tayo sa privilege exec mode. Let's try the control Z, okay. So let's go to the configure terminal, config terminal. We are on the global configuration modes. Let's try control letter Z. Okay? So balik siya sa privilege exec mode. Okay? So try nyo rin po yan ha. Ulit-ulitin nyo siya para you'll get familiar with it. Alright? So let me put it back to the normal Zoom option. We're almost done with the laboratory exercise kasi isang part na lang po. Okay? One part na lang yung kailangan natin gawin. Okay? So, but medyo dalawang page pa pala siya. Okay? So, any questions so far? Oras na ba? 11:09 pa lang. So, I guess matatapos tayo ng maaga. Okay. So, yung question na saan po makukuha yung MS Word? It's on our Open LMS. Naka-upload na siya, pero hindi ko pa lang siya na-publish. Naka-hide pa. So, I'll show it later after our lesson. After this laboratory. Okay, so i-download nyo na lang siya. Okay, so let me magnify again and let's continue with part 3. Okay, so sa part 3, we will be using the clock command. Okay. Use the clock command to further explore help and command syntax. So we type in show clock, okay, and then press enter. Question niya is, what information is displayed and what is the year that is displayed? Okay, again, go to our configuration. Okay, so anong mode of operation daw tayo? It should be in the privilege. Okay, privilege exec mode. So tama naman po na nasa privilege exec mode tayo. Okay, so show space clock. Okay, show clock, press enter. So what do we see? Asterisk 0:31:14.960. So which we can assume that is the time. UTC is the time zone. Month is the day. March 1, 1993 is the date. Okay, mali, diba? So, but yan yung tinatanong. So, we'll just copy. And later, we'll configure that actually. So, question dyan, what is the year listed? What information is displayed? So, pwede natin sabihin, the time zone, and date. Okay. What is the year displayed? So, the year displayed is 1993. Okay. Question, bakit 1993? That I need to verify. So I think that is because that's the time the switch was released. Yung type ng switch na yun ay na-release. Okay? So we had already answered that question. Ito siya. Ay, ba't hindi siya nag-blue? Alright. Okay. Next. Use the context-sensitive help and clock command to set the time on the switch to the current time. Okay? So anong oras na ba ngayon? So it's already 11:11. Okay, so 11:11. Parang sale lang ng Shopee sa Kalsada. Okay, so clock space, clock enter lang po. Okay, so what we will be doing is to click clock and then enter. Type clock and then press enter. Okay, so clock, enter. Clock, okay, enter. Okay, so invalid command. Incomplete command. Okay, so tingnan natin yung question niya. Okay, so what information is displayed? So incomplete command. Okay, na merong percentage. Meron na ba? Yeah, percent symbol yon, yung maliit na yon. Okay, so percent incomplete command. Sorry, pagka malapit. So, yun. Incomplete command. Okay, so that's our answer for this question. And then type it here. Next. So that message is returned by iOS that indicates that the clock command needs more parameters. Anytime more information is needed. For the time, more information is needed. So help by providing a space and type in the question mark para malaman natin ano ba kailangan natin kasi incomplete command tayo, diba? So we use the help, context sensitive help, question mark. So again, clock, question mark. Okay, so sabi dyan, set set the time and date. So we need to type in the set argument, diba? So inunahan ko lang siya. So what information is requested? So nandito pala tayo, sorry. Yan, here. So clock, question mark. So what information is displayed? So kailangan natin malaman kung ano yung information. So let me just bawi the set. Okay, so clock. Ayan, nagawa na pala natin kanina. So set lang. So this is the answer. Okay, ina-advance ko kasi. So let's just follow what is in the instruction. Okay, so sabi dyan, clock question mark, what information is displayed? It displayed, ito yung, ano niya, display niya. Equivalent to, set the time and date. Okay, so this is what is asked, and that is our answer. Uy, meron ulit sa meeting room, admit, waiting room. Okay, so letter C. Letter C na tayo ha. So set the clock using the clock set command and proceed through the command one step at a time. So clock set and then question mark naman tayo. Okay, so let's go back to the terminal. So clock set, gagawin natin yung clock set, pero actually when we type in, incomplete command pa. So to be able to know, ano pa ba yung kailangan namin i-include? So we type in question mark again. Okay, here, kailangan natin ng hour, minutes, and then seconds. The current time, we need to set. Okay, so the current time. Okay, so what information is requested? So I'll just copy this one. Copy ko lang yan. And then paste ko siya dito. Okay. Okay, so yan siya. That is the information required. Okay. What would have been displayed if only the clock set command have been entered and no request for help was made for the question mark? So, nag-i-incomplete command, diba? So, we can just type that in again. Lagay natin. It would return an incomplete command. Okay. So, yeah. Basically, just answering what is asked on the manual. So, sagutin lang natin yung question niya. Letter D. Okay. Based on the information requested by issuing the clock set question mark, enter a time of 3 p.m. by using the 24-hour format or 15:00:00:00. Check to see if more parameters are needed. Okay. So, gawin natin to. Clock set 1500 and then question mark. Okay, again, clock set 1500 question mark. So let's just type that in here. Okay, sa command natin. Okay, ulitin ko. Clock set 15:00:00:00 question mark. Okay, so meron pa daw kailangan. We need to specify the day of the month or month of the year. Okay, so let's go back to the manual. The output returns more information. So tama, di ba? We were able to see this. Hinahanap niya to. So wala namang tinatanong sa atin. So we proceed to next step. Attempt to set the date using format requested. Okay, so it may be necessary to request additional help using context-sensitive help to complete the process. When finished, issue the show clock. Okay, so gawin na natin siya. Okay, so let's try this one. Okay, ito. Clock set 15 tapos 31 January 2035. Okay, so let's try this one. January 31, 2035. January 31, 2035. So, January, kompleto ba yun? Nakakalimutin. Ay, 31 January 2035. Sorry. That format. So, 31 January, backspace ko lang. 31 January 2035. Okay, so we just followed what is in the instruction. Clock set, space, 3 o'clock, space, 31 January 2035. So, press enter. So, ano nangyari? So, wala nang error, di ba? Pero if we show clock, okay, so type show clock, ano nangyari? So, it had been applied. So, meron na tayong 3:08, 8 seconds lang yon, and then the time zone, and then the day, and then the date. So, we only need to specify the time, and then the date, yung petsa, and then the month. Okay, so, wait lang, I just need to get this call. Wait lang. Ay, ano ba yan? Wait lang. Okay, so let's continue. Magnify po na ulit. Okay. So yan, we were able to set the time. So let's go back to the manual. So nasa na tayo? Okay, so yan. Were you able to update the time? So our answer is just yes. Nabago natin siya. Okay, next question na tayo. Explore additional commands with clock actually. So the iOS provides various outputs for incorrect or incomplete commands. Continue to use the clock command to explore additional messages. Okay? So gamitin natin yung CL. Okay? So, or I think this part you can already do on your own. Okay? So gagawin nyo, type CL and then the tab. So ano yung makukompleto? Why do you think there is no output? Bakit kaya? Type in the complete word clock. So what information was returned? Why do you think this is the case? Okay, sagutin lang po yung question. Type this command. What information was returned? Why do you think that is the output? And then finally, ito naman po yung gagawin niyo. Okay, so exploring additional command messages using the clock command. Okay. So I guess you'll be able to answer that on your own na yung step 2.